Welcome back. It is Pi Day time, so I want to tell you what I'll be doing this year. I discovered a few years ago I have much better results if I don't cram it all in one day. So I've actually already started with one activity, and I just kind of try to pepper some Pi activities in the days leading up and then even the days after March 14. One of the simpler activities I do is I get these little cards and I put some facts and I tape them under some chairs, and if they have a fact, they come up and read it. Like Babylonians and Egyptians were the first to discover pi. Pi was used in Egyptian pyramids. Many mathematicians say a circle is made of infinite corners. In the Greek alphabet, pi is the 16th letter. In our alphabet, P is the 16th letter. Stephen Hawking died on March 14. Einstein was born on March 14. Let's see. It would take 133 years to recite all the known digits of pi without stopping. This one cracks me up. Da Vinci sells a men's cologne called Pi. It claims to make intelligent men more attractive. I found it at Sephora for $96. And then I don't know if you've seen this. If you just write pi out like this, or the number 3.14 on a card, and they take it to a mirror, it will show pi. And then I usually let them look up on their Chromebooks who has said the most digits. They have fun looking that up, and you think, what? How is that even possible? In addition to the circumference series, I found another book this year on Einstein. It's not just on pi, but he's associated with math and things like that. It's a picture book that is beautifully done, and it really teaches us about the value of questions and how his first words were questions. We also learned that he didn't like to wear socks, he enjoyed ice cream, and he played his violin to relax. But look at this math page that we have. It's beautiful. And let me read what it says on here. It says, and he read about numbers. Albert loved numbers. They were like a secret language for figuring things out. But all that reading still didn't answer all Albert's questions, so he kept on reading, wondering, and learning. So I'll be adding that to our math books this month. My friend Tara Hagison last year gave me this. She was doing this with her second grade, and she found it on Mini Mountain Learning. And it's just an activity where you write the words, all the words that you can think of that start with P-I, and they really enjoyed this. My fourth graders thought that was great fun. I also like to introduce them to the Greek alphabet, and now that we've been through coronavirus, they'll be more familiar with some of the numbers, and they always recognize Omega, the people who watch sports on television. And all I do is I have them write their name as best they can using Greek letters. Anyone named Zoe will have no problem. Zoe can write her name with just using Greek letters, but if they don't have their letters, they just make do the best they can. It's a good little introduction to Greek. Something else that I'm doing this year is another art project. This time we're painting circles, and I found someone who suggested painting circles using 5 different colors, and when I told my class about it, they said, well, can I use more than 5 colors? Well, yes, of course, it's art. It can be whatever you want. But it was so funny when I went to school the next day. I made this project, and it was just so relaxing to me, and I left this little white spot for reflection. And I went to school the next day, and I said, we're painting circles today, and they met my announcement with just no enthusiasm at all. They were not impressed. We used watercolor paper, and then we started, and they loved it and didn't want to stop. In fact, Zion literally said, I don't want to stop. And when he came to school the next morning, at morning activity time, he said, can I paint circles? I said, there's no time. We only have 12 minutes. He goes, no, I can do it. Look. And he was ready to go. So even before school, he was painting circles. But I brought some home to show you. They're just beautiful. This is Mika's. I don't know whose this is. Look at this fancy signature. Who are you? Jacob let his all run together so beautifully, and he added black in it. Here is Zion's, the one who couldn't stop. Students from other grades even came in. They wanted to get in on the painting circle action. And then for the actual pie activity, finding pie, I've decided I'm not going to use any worksheets this year at all. And I've just been collecting circular things. Wonderful Stanley got me some records. His mom just recently gave him, you wouldn't believe, the biggest stack of records. And I've got lids and plates and CDs and all kinds of stuff. I called my friend Trace and asked him if he had any garage kind of circles, like I was thinking maybe some engine belts or maybe some smallish tires or wheels that I could take in. And he said, sure, he could help me with that. And I'm going to pass out string, and they can come and get whatever items they want. Wonderful Stanley said, do not use yarn because yarn is stretchy, so it needs to be string. And measure the circumference. And once they do that, and I'll have tape measures for them to find out how long their strings are. And then they can find the diameter. I'll have to teach what diameter is. And then I'm going to tell them to put those two in their calculator, divide circumference by diameter. And I'm going to ask them to figure out what the result is. I usually go into this telling them what pi is. And I'm going to do self-discovery method this year. And I'm going to let them make a little chart like this themselves with the item, circumference, diameter, and the result. And I'm excited to see if they will find a pattern or close to it. We'll do that on Pi Day, and then we'll have our Pi reciting. It's a totally optional thing. I pass out the papers a month in advance, and I will have usually about half a dozen students who will participate and memorize as many digits of pi as they can. And the winner will go home with an apple pie. And then the rest of us will just be eating pie. I have parents send in pie. But I have to show you what my brother and sister-in-law, George and Carol, found for me this year. I feel so blessed. I have just the best family, and I'm the only teacher in the family, so everyone's always looking out for me. And they found a pie pin. And so the winner's going to actually get to go home with this. And I honestly don't know. They bought 5 for me. So do I just start this year and keep going, or do I go back a couple years and give it? What do you think I should do? Last year, Thomas, who had won 2 years ago now at 123 digits, he's now in 6th grade. He came on Pi Day last year, and he was just kind of walking around. He goes, did you do it this year, Mrs. Matsuda? And I said, I did. And he goes, did anyone beat my record? And sure enough, Ava had memorized 139 digits. And so what I decided to do is I ran and got Ava, and I took a photo of Thomas shaking Ava's hand. And they just looked so proud of each other. And I'm going to start that new tradition where I keep doing that, honoring those that came before in addition to the ones that are current. And then Wonderful Stanley always makes a little certificate for me of the winner for them to go home with. And that's what we're going to do for Pi Day this year, with the addition of one last thing that I have to show you. I've already shared with you that I've added dance to my curriculum, and we are loving it. And I don't know if it's a word you feel comfortable with. You can call it organized movement, PE. My mommy grew up calling it marching. But I was a little nervous at first when I started this, but I have not yet had one parent, not one complaint. They just love it. The kids love it. And each year I think, oh, is this class going to like it too? They do. Boys and girls. And when I went down on the first day to teach this new dance, the 5th and 6th graders saw us walking down, and I don't know how they knew. They just saw us walking down at an odd time to the gym, and they're like, are you going to dance? What are you going to do? They just wanted to be in on it. But this is a new dance, and it's called Los Machetes. And it's a circle dance. I thought, there has to be a circle dance we can do. And they actually use knives in the real dance. We're going to substitute with rhythm sticks like we used to use in Sabbath school. And Stanley will show you how the dance works. It's just you get to teach the vocabulary of concentric circles. You have the students form an inner circle and an outer circle, and they're going to march 16 beats in one direction, tapping as they go, and then 16 beats in the other direction. And when you get ready, you can have the inner circle and the outer circle going in opposite directions. Do you see how this works? Then you find a partner, like you just turn inward, find a partner, and you tap your stick under your leg and clap, tap your stick under your leg, behind your back, clap, tap, tap, tap. And you do that 4 times. And then you do a variation of a do-si-do, and you start all over again. So it's really not dancing, it's circles. It's really math. And so I hope that you will give that a try, and you can find the song to play. It's on YouTube. It's just 3 minutes long. It's not long at all, and it's something you can do every day for a while. And we need activities like that at this time. And that's Pi Day. Days, I should say, not just on one day. I watched a math workshop this weekend on Sunday, and the presenter said that 93% of us have math anxiety at some point in our life, and I thought that's a lot. And why? Why can't math be fun and engaging and challenging and a struggle in a good way? And the more activities that we can give to our students that are showing them that math is fun, math is everywhere, why not? So I hope you found something today that you can use for Pi Day and Pi Days, and I look forward to being with you again very soon.